Welcome to the channel. I want to thank you guys for tuning in on today. I want to say happy December to those of us who are listening to this in December. It is the end of 2024. And I tell you, this year went by really, really fast. All right. There were a lot of situations that we faced as a people all across the globe and even in our individual lives. But by Yah's grace, we are in December, and prayerfully by His grace, if He wills, we will make it into the next year as a people and hopefully individually. I pray for each and every one of you. All right. So thank you guys for those of you who tune in on a regular basis, even though I do not upload on a regular basis or tune in whenever I upload. I greatly appreciate you. I thank y'all for each and every one of you. Each of the subscribers that I had on this channel, they were gained authentically, but as I have ceased, regular uploads and also have just been really direct about things and not, I've never given you, a fantasy outlook of the nation of Ghana, and I never will, or Africa as a whole. That's never been my agenda and never my plan, never my, my MO. I always want to bring you news that can help you, news that you really can use on the ground. All right. And so this is one of them. All right. So December is a busy month in Ghana. A lot of people are heading here, for the election, which takes place this weekend. A lot of people are here, heading here for celebrating December in Ghana. Ghana has become very popular as a place to visit during December because of all the artists that come, parties that take place, and unfortunately, a lot of hookups that take place, not just in December, but throughout the year. When I say hookups, I mean, doing the do. All right. And so, guys, there's news out of Ghana that you can use and need to know. All right. So hopefully you won't be traveling the world trying to get, your groove on. All right. And when I say get your groove on, let me just make sure I don't tarnish the image of that movie. You see, this is an image from the movie, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, right? And it wasn't a movie about hooking up, but it was a movie about girls taking a vacation. They went down to Jamaica. One woman met a younger guy. She wasn't really interested, but they got together and they really hooked. They really hit it off, not hooked up, really hit it off, right? And so it seems, like a wonderful movie, wonderful cast and everything. And actually in real life, the writer of this script, this was taken from her life story, from what she says and what he says. And unfortunately, the younger man in real life turned out to be, for her, gay, right? And so, guys, listen, I don't think he just discovered that he was gay. I think that he knew when he got with her that he was gay or was already having sex with men and possibly women. Okay. And that happens a lot. And so, especially in these countries and places where, there's a lot of tourism going on, there's a lot of sexual activity and prostitution, male and female. And that's also true here in Africa. Don't let anybody fool you. It happens. And some people are messing around and marrying homosexuals or lesbians and prostitutes, male and female. All right. And so, one, we shouldn't be traveling the world looking for hookups. Okay. Right. But if you do, there's some information that you can use that's coming out of Ghana. All right. So let me give you this information. So according to recent information out of Ghana, hold on one second. This thing keeps disappearing. I had it up before and I'm going to bring it up again. Hold on. Okay. So out of Ghana. In the last 9 months, guys, in the last 9 months, Ghana detects 34,000 new HIV infections within the last 9 months. So from January 2024 to September 2024, there have been 34,000 new HIV cases reported. All right. So the National HIV and AIDS Control Program of the Ghana Health Service has reported over 34,000 new HIV infections detected from January to the third quarter of 2024. All right, which was September. And Dr. Stephen Ayisi Addo, the program manager, emphasized the importance of public testing and screening, revealing that approximately 1.3 million people were screened during this period. Between January and the third quarter alone, the number of people we identified as positive through our testing activities was 34,000, he noted. Did you hear that? In 9 months, 34,000. Now, here's the big issue with that, is that this number actually doubled from the previous year. Doubled from the previous year. The previous year, it was like 17,700 and something, and it doubled. And then additional information, the Ghana HIV and AIDS Network has expressed worry over the surge in new HIV infections in Ghana, despite a reduction in the national prevalence rate. In a statement issued on Monday, December 2nd, which December 1st was National HIV Awareness Day, December 2nd, 2024, to commemorate World AIDS Day, or World, not National World, all right, pointed out that the alarming increase in new HIV cases was with 34,000 new diagnoses reported between January and September 2024. All right, and so you can finish reading this article if you're interested. I'll put the link there. But guys, listen. Be careful. First of all, I'm speaking mainly to Israelites. We shouldn't be doing this ourselves, running around, sleeping around. But, people need to be aware and to be careful. Don't come, running up into Africa thinking that, everything's okay, because you don't hear a lot about AIDS anymore. Not even in America, right? So we need to be aware of what's going on, and just taking a look at what's going on. Let's take a look. I did a little chart here just to show you, like in the US, in America, our population is 335 million, about 335 million people in America. Our new infections, the last date that they have was 2022. Our new infections was 31,800. Okay, and that actually decreased by 12%, and they said it's due to the COVID pandemic, and it reduced among young people. So among teenagers and college age students, the rates of new infections actually reduced. That could be because they're not in school, they're not in campus, they weren't meeting with each other, and so they weren't hooking up. And that's a wonderful thing. All right, 12% is a big drop, and especially when most of it is between that age group. Now, the sad thing about this 31,800 is that most of the new infections I read was like 60 something, I think 67% were among gay men, right? And a number of those gay men were Black and Latino gay men as well. So we had a serious problem going on with gay men, because a lot of our men, they didn't even say gay, they said men having sex with men. So I call that gay, all right? I call that a homosexual. But they're saying that that's the largest group where it's being spread in the U.S. But many of those men are married. Many of those men sleep with women. Many of those men have girlfriends. So then it begins to spread even more among heterosexual. Now, with 335 million people in America, and then only 34 million people in Ghana, Ghana's HIV new infection rates actually exceed that of the U.S. That's not good. The year before, in 2023, it was half of what it was. And now listen, 2024 isn't even over yet. This is just for the first 9 months. It doubled from the previous year. The United Kingdom has 68,350,000 people. Their rate of new infections in 2023 was 6,402, and that is up 42%. Up 42%. They are, double the size of Ghana, but they have 6,402, but they are up 42% in the United Kingdom. Jamaica, 2,826,000, and they have 1,400 in new estimated cases, but this is from 2019. They refuse to give us accurate details from Jamaica. from what we've known in the past from the stats, it's not good in Jamaica, the numbers compared to the population size. Now, over the years, they have been doing a great job in Jamaica of tracking. They're literally tracking people. Unfortunately, you have to be tracked. And they are, when I say tracking, they're keeping stats and they're contacting people to let them know. And it's a small, it's made up of several islands, but they're able to contact people. And so, this is estimated from 2019, and they really need to do better with this reporting. Canada, 40 million people, 40,100,000 people. They have 2022 records, 1,833 people, and that's up almost 25%. Up almost 25% in Canada. So we're going to have people traveling from all over the world, getting together, hooking up. Listen, guys, HIV rates are through the roof, doubled in less than a year. In 9 months, the rates have doubled. Don't come, trying to get your groove on. And let me just say this. A couple of months ago, I wanted to talk about this because there was a popular person who had just released an album. So I didn't bring it up because I knew they were just trying to get some attention, right? But they are blaming those who are traveling from around the world for Ghana's high HIV rates, right? I won't call their name because, I can say something about that person, my own opinion of them, but I won't do that here. But I just didn't give them the attention that they were seeking at that time. So for us as the diaspora, especially, we need to be careful because there are people who are already waiting to blame us for soaring HIV rates that actually exceeds where we're coming from, okay? Even though our population is much higher than theirs, their rates are more than double, for example, in the U.S. And that's not a reason to, to lay back and say, oh, whatever. If I were you, I would, and even if you weren't going to be having, sex here and there, it would be good to bring your own HIV test, all right? Take your test in the U.S. and keep a copy of your test with you, and, just have that for your records, because a lot of people also are trying to get citizenship and residency, and they're just adding a whole bunch of new stuff into this. I can go into that whole thing later, but maybe I will, maybe I won't. All right. But make sure you bring your own test, okay? And a couple of tests, so you won't be accused especially if you're out there sleeping around with people. Make sure you bring your own test from the U.S., okay? And keep regular test if possible, if you're going back and forth from the U.S., or home test, make sure you keep it. But the most accurate would be your own test, and I would do it in my own country if I were you. Now, that's just for the record. That's just for something, just in case some stuff pops off, okay? That's just what I'm saying. All right, so guys, be careful, be aware. Just needed to let you know what's going on. All right, so before, when East meets West for sex, y'all need to be knowing what's going on, and not just HIV. It's hepatitis rates. Something that we rarely hear about in the U.S. Hepatitis rates. As of 2023, Ghana is dealing with high rates of hepatitis B and C, and the health authorities are concerned about the impact of viral hepatitis on the country's health. All right, and it's not like we don't have things in the U.S. too. Hepatitis is in the U.S. HPV, HSV, syphilis, gonorrhea, all of these things. And with increased drug use in America, you're going to see more of those diseases that typically are spread through intravenous drug use. All right, so guys, please be alert, be aware, be holy. All right, don't be sleeping around. All right, we're not here for that. I'm talking to Israel now. We're not here for that. All right, possess your body, your vessel, with honor. All right, and so I thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all bless each and every one of you, and I love you, and shalom.